How is that honest?
You're
That's just
misinterpreting what
an
I'm
idiot
saying.
lying.
Wait,
Hey, let me ask
you're
you.
misinterpreting what I'm saying. What I'm saying.
It wasn't what you said,
Listen.
Stacey. I wasn't responding to what you said, really.
well, you should have
Apart
said it.
from
I apologize.
your initial demand for a scale model.
But that's what I'm trying to correct. I said any kind of proof, small scale, big scale, or anything. You guys are giving us nothing to prove this model because I'm being told you can't.
Okay,
do
so
that.
what's wrong
It's
with
only math.
what's wrong with the Cavendish experiment then?
It doesn't have exterior.
We're not Cavendish.
Hold on.
Have
Let
you guys
me
done
answer
anything
this,
else
please.
besides lead? Have you guys even made sure that experiment is not anything else being affected by it? No,
Yes.
Hey, Stacey,
Yes.
can I answer this?
Yes. Cavendish performed the experiment 17 times specifically for that purpose, to make sure he'd eliminated all the other causes. Yes,
let me
is the
ask
answer
you
to
this.
that question.
May I talk?
Yeah, go ahead, dude. Sorry.
Okay. The Cavendish experiment, does it while you're conducting the Cavendish, do you have water conforming to the exterior
No. So you backed it. Look. Let's settle this once and for all.
Why not?
Is your requirement a scale model of the Earth with water sticking to it?
No, I'm just.
Is that your specific requirement and nothing else but that?
Can I talk?
Only if you answer that question.
Well, I wanted.
Because I'm sick of this flip-flopping.
Okay,
I don't need a scale model. Now I do need a scale model. No, I don't need one. Now I do need one again. Do you need a scale model?
No.
Shut up, blood.
Right. So stop asking for one.
Okay, but look.
So why are you rejecting Cavendish on the basis that it's not a scale model if you don't require one?
Because it doesn't show water sticking to the exterior of a ball being pulled.
So you do require a scale model again. Can you see why I'm getting frustrated? You've just told me you don't require a scale model, but you do require a small size water sticking to a ball. Now, how is that not a scale model?
It's not, but it's demonstrating gravity.
It's not a scale model. A ball with water sticking to it is not a scaled down version of the Earth. A ball with water sticking.
It would demonstrate how your Earth works.
I understand that, but you have said repeatedly, even when asked the specific question, you do not require a scale model. And then when I offer you evidence, according to your requirements, you reject the evidence because it's not a scale model. You're just lying.
Have water sticking to the exterior of a ball.
Right, that would be a scale model, wouldn't it?
No, it would show that.
How is it not a scale model?
Enough gravity to hold the
what would a scale model of the Earth look like?
No, the proof of
what would a scale model of the Earth look like?
Sticking to the exterior of those walls. That would
right. So you are fucking hell. This is unbelievable.
It really is.
That would be a slam dunk.
I give in.
Cavendish was never meant to prove water sticking to a ball or anything.
But you've never demonstrated it.
It was there to prove the rotation of the Earth.
It's flat. It will always be flat.
This is why you guys can never be taken seriously, because you aren't even capable. You aren't even capable of holding a conversation on the subject, which is coherent, like a coherent adult conversation.
Why can't we have other center of masses have water stick to a ball? Why is it only the Earth? Why is the Earth so special?
Again,
oh my God.
Not only the Earth, by the way, we have water on the moon as well.
Oh no, I have to stop. I have to stop, don't I? I have to find a way to stop doing it.
You keep going. I mean, you've literally made 3 circles right back to back with them. The same thing. And
right.
I don't know where the disconnect is coming from. They're not hearing it or they're rejecting it. So I don't know what else to say.
Show water sticking to a ball, generating gravity. That's it.
But then when
is that so hard to ask? Is that so much?
Well, it's silly. Because our model says that would be impossible.
Well, then your model is silly then.
No, it's not easier.
It's not. So we decide we reject a scientific model on the basis of you finding it arbitrarily silly. What is your reasoning for it being silly?
No.
Because you can't
Because it
demonstrate
can't
that
provide
nothing
scale
to-
models of itself within
no,
itself.
Stop it.
Gravity.
Stop
Why?
it.
Why
This
does
is
that
a
make
bullshit,
something
Jeff.
silly?
Because
What-
you're sitting
what
there saying
things-
something
what
is
things-
Because the
silly
model
of
says
us.
that's what's happening.
All right,
For
what
never
things do you
seeing
know of
something.
currently? What things do you know of currently that are demonstrated scientifically using a scale model?
Scientifically, the world is flat.
You can't think of
There is
anything,
no
can
scale
you?
model of it, though.
You
It's
cannot
like
think of a
evidence.
single thing. You cannot think of a single thing that you know to be true because of a scale model, and yet your
flat
only
Earth.
requirement
Okay, I
for
can start
this to
I
be
can-
true
hold
is
on.
a scale model.
We could
This
scale-
shows you
Look,
that
can I
this is just
answer?
confirmation bias at play.
We could
It
model
must
the
show you
flat
that.
Earth with a
Let-
I
dome
can
and a little
demonstrate.
sun and a
hold
little
on,
moon.
I can demonstrate.
Oh, tell me that's
Fire.
chemo.
It is chemo.
Boiling
He's
water.
He's
Where have you
you missed
been?
him this morning, man. He was
Listen,
I heard you
great.
got crushed, chemo. I heard you got crushed.
I personally, I'm on his side with that one, man. I think he was impressive.
I have to
I'm
listen
all-
back.
I will have to
I can
retire.
boil water
chemo. Yeah.
on a small fire.
It's
or
good
I
to
can
see you,
boil
chemo.
water
Hey,
on
good
a
to see
large
everyone.
fire, and I can
There's a
demonstrate
guy
the
who keeps trying to
same thing.
talk, but I don't know who it is.
Yeah,
He's really
please,
low.
somebody, Kosho, mute me. Server mute.
No, but yeah,
Shut the
you
fuck
want to make sure you have a good day today, Jam. So
No, Jam.
I wouldn't use all your.
up.
Because the other night when I left Bev's, it ruined the rest of my night. You know what I mean? So
We have a
Sometimes
lot
a
to talk
conversation
about
could-
Bev about.
yeah.
But to get back to the scale model, I mean, we could model the flat Earth, right, with a dome and objects moving around.
But have you? Have you done that?
Well, I mean, that can be done. That's not difficult. If that's what you mean by a model, scaling it down. But other than that,
Sure.
I want to see what's keeping this flat Earth up straight too.
and again, it's depends on which cosmology, like the Chinese or the Hebrew.
Any of them. Any of them. I want to see one.
Well, it's not difficult to scale down the flat. But a globe, I think what they want to see, or what we'd like to see, what the globe does, things orbiting. But their model doesn't say.
And in 5 years.
No, I get that. That's why I didn't.
In 5 years, you haven't seen anything.
No, but I understand that your
model.
no, but your
Same thing for the flat model. I would like to see a sun moving around in a circular path above a flat surface.
yeah. I mean, that's not difficult, right?
Yes, it is, and I want to see you do it, or a video of it, please.
And Jam's made.
Not a problem. Yeah, I mean, have you not seen that? Let me get it for you. Yeah, I mean, we can do that, no problem. Yeah, that's easy. Let me get that.
But we haven't had how many thousands supposed years to come up with our model. So just give us a tiny bit. But see, in 5 years, you guys haven't shown shit either, right?
No. So in 5 years, you
and
haven't seen
nothing?
anything.
Wait. Jim's the one who said, right, that it's impossible
Yes, of course it is.
to show us.
Yeah,
So
It
the answer is
requires
no, we have not.
because it requires a mass. The scale model is impossible, and the scale model is impossible because we're on Earth, and
Why
and
is
the
it
Earth
important to show a scale model?
will affect the stuff in the scale model.
Okay,
Because
so how does the
Stacey-
Earth affect
Stacey-
Cavendish as well?
Stacey,
Right, but you can
can we try and
isolate
make
it,
Jem's
right?
point another? Stacey, could you please just listen for a second? I'll try and make Jem's point another way. Where in the full size Earth is there another fucking great planet sitting next to it?
Well, you guys say you have the ability to go out into outer space, so why don't you go out there
What
and
the
take
hell's
care of
that got to do with the question I just asked?
I'm just giving you an option.
You're
and a way of
giving us
doing your scale
nothing.
model.
You're just deflecting and avoiding.
Go from one of your satellites.
what's the
go
option?
to one of your satellites and show me the answer.
Wouldn't it be true, Stacey, though, if you can't tell me anything currently that you know because of a scale model, why are you
Well,
What's your
I
reasoning?
haven't actually seriously sat and thought about all these scale models of things that I could show you that prove things in reality, because there's a lot of scale models that prove things, Jim, and maybe not your scale model of the Earth. No.
We're not talking about just, a model aeroplane, are we? We're talking about a working model of some natural mechanism.
Okay, a car. I can get a car right now, a car model sitting in front of my. If all it is,
Well, that's not. I wouldn't.
And then boom, there's a car. It works just like that.
I wouldn't say that that's a natural mechanism. I mean, we can engine. Listen. Try and listen. Listen, I'm still making the point. I only said one sentence. Okay, we can engineer things, and we can engineer things at different sizes. Nobody is saying that isn't true. We're talking about requiring scale models to demonstrate natural processes in the real world. And I just don't think that things to be true because of that. And I think if that's the case, if you know lots and lots of things to be true, which I suggest you do, and none of those things you came to that truth, listen, don't interrupt, none of those things you came to that truth via a scale model, then to demand a scale model, especially when you know the physics that the scale model is supposed to demonstrate, demand that scale model would then be impossible. That's just, you cannot pretend that is intellectually honest in any way. Thank you.
Well, if they cannot prove any of this stuff, right? You're on a scale model or anything on Earth, because everything's affected here on Earth, right? Then how the fuck did they come up with the information in the first place? Was it all done in outer space, Jim?
Well, when you say they can't prove it, what you mean is they can't meet my unreasonable and illogical standard of proof.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because we've just established that you don't know anything to be true because of a scale model, and the physics of reality demand that the scale model could not work, is impossible.
Why do you believe it? Why do you believe it was seeing nothing replicated like that on Earth? Why do you believe that?
Well, because that isn't a requirement for believing things are true. As I keep pointing out to you, neither of us can name any natural process that we know to be true because of a scale model. I can't name it.
Hey, hold on. I can make a fire and boil water on a small fire or a large fire. I can freeze ice.
Well, that's the same thing.
I can freeze a block of water and freeze, say, a liter of water.
Or I can lightning bolt in a lab.
1,000 liters.
That's just doing the same thing with different amounts of the substance. That's not a scale model of anything.
Why can't you take a sphere, a sphere, and
why can't you make a hurricane in a lab?
Enough mass.
Why can't you make a hurricane in a petri dish? Can you show me a hurricane in a petri dish?
Right.
Can you show me a billion volt? Can you show me a billion volt lightning bolt in a lab? Can you show me a billion volt lightning bolt anywhere in a lab?
And
Tesla did it.
No, you can't. The point Jake's making, as ridiculous as it sounds, is exactly how ridiculous what you guys are requesting sounds like. And I'm trying to be fair here, but hold on, Stacey. I'm trying to be fair because hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to be fair here because I agree with what Dem had said. And when you brought up the car, Stacey, the car, I guess on the surface it seems like that's a good example of a small down version of a car, but it really isn't. It's a model by different definition of the word model. It's not doing what a car does. It doesn't work the same way a car does. The mechanisms in an engine can't exist on something that small. And the same is true.
What are you talking
same
about?
is true. The same is true with almost the same. Hold on.
No.
Hold on 1 second, guys.
What about all these different cars that are built that are small?
Those don't work the same way cars work.
Yes. Actually, a lot of you.
Oh my God! What are you talking about? There is transfer being sent to the rear axle or front axle to the wheel to generate.
It doesn't matter. It's not a natural process in the real world. It's just something we engineer. We can engineer things at different sizes. Nobody's arguing that we can't.
And boom, then you got your car. You got a working car. It does everything a big car would do.
Almost there, but if
it doesn't make any difference.
In reverse.
What I said,
It doesn't matter.
Right. So okay, right. So all I was going to say was, like I said, you guys are conflating these two ideas of what models are, whereas what you're asking from us, being very strict about it, which is, I guess, is
We
only
just
fair
want
if
you
you
to
be just strict.
demonstrate
Hold on
gravity
one second. Hold
with
on.
water sticking to a ball.
Just getting there. But that's where I'm getting to. Is that you're asking for the water sticking to a ball and the orbits and all this other kind of stuff.
No.
Working the same.
I never said orbit.
On.
Well, now you're adding.
No.
You're
I'm just
conflating
finishing
my
what I'm
argument.
saying, man. It wouldn't take this long. Just
Finish.
hold on. Anyhow, right. So you're asking for it to work the exact same way it works in reality, and you're not accepting it if we're using some other mechanism to, recreate what it looks like or whatever. So you shouldn't allow that for any
like
other
on a
examples.
computer model or something.
Please
Yeah,
let
well,
him
a computer
finish, dude.
computer model will work fine. I think computer models are perfect examples of models.
So we can make a computer model of the flat Earth.
Indeed.
Nobody's.
So what does that prove? That
done,
doesn't
though.
demonstrate anything.
Well, you can't make a computer model of
We
the
can
flat Earth, can you?
illustrate. We can
You haven't
fictitiously
done that.
demonstrate something,
only
but
you
unless you
could.
can't demonstrate it
But-
in reality, then it's not real.
But
Yours
remember that believing in flat Earth requires that you repeatedly say things like, we don't have a model, we're not pushing any models, we don't need a model, you haven't got a model either, you do everything you can to avoid having a model.
We just want
So
you to
don't sit there.
demonstrate
So
what the
please
Earth
don't
is
sit there and
doing.
tell me
That's
we
all
can have
we're
a computer
asking.
model of the flat Earth until you have a computer model of
But
the flat
there's a
Earth.
difference. Is there not a difference? Because the globe states that they've already measured everything. They have a radius. Now we know
We
for a
do.
fact we haven't measured it. Wait. We know for a fact we haven't measured everything. So therefore we have no place, we have places that we can't go to even measure. So why would I give you a model that I know for a fact would be incorrect, Jim? I'm not a liar like the globe.
Oh, because your colleague there has just told us that he can provide a computer model of the flat Earth. That's why. That if you're telling us all, if you're agreeing with me that he can't, then I'm happy to have your agreement.
No. Wait, he can give you a model.
Now you have got a model. That's funny how quick that changed.
No.
Well, let's see it then. Let's see the
Stop,
computer
Jen.
model of the
Fucking
flat Earth.
Stop for a second. Let somebody else talk, please. Please, I'm not being rude to you. What I'm trying to say is I can give you a model. We all can give you a model, but does it make it reality? Does it make it truthful? No. And we're about
No, it
truth,
doesn't.
So therefore, I'm not going to make you a model that's incorrect. When I can measure everything and I know what the size of this Earth
Stacey,
is, right?
look,
Then I'll give you a model.
if you say I can
Until
give
then,
you
I
a
can't.
model, if you say I can give you a model, obviously it's a requirement of the model that it's correct. So it's no point in saying to me, I can give you a model, but it won't be correct.
Bullshit.
That's not a model.
Bullshit.
That's just some incorrect information.
Okay,
So-
then prove me that your model's real. Prove
So
me that.
no.
Prove me all this stuff you say. Oh, no.
We're not.
It
I'm
can't
not
be false. It
proving
can't be a
anything.
lie.
I'm not.
Anybody can model anything and just make a bunch of lies up.
I'm not.
I could
But their
model
model won't demonstrate what they say water sticking to the exterior of a ball. They can't
At the
demonstrate that.
At the moment,
But your
though,
model,
we're talking
right?
about.
Show me that.
At the moment, we're talking about your model that you have just claimed.
No.
Shut up, Stacey. That you have just claimed that you can provide, and then Stacey said, "Well, yes, we can provide it, but it won't
Be a lie.
work."
Right. And you said,
so
no,
can you
models have to
provide?
work. Well, then
So,
please provide your
so
model.
can we
working
agree on
of
this
balls,
at the moment? When I
right, while
say,
performing to it, please. Thank you.
Stacey, when I say, can you provide a model? I'm asking about a working model, not just some made-up shit that is totally incoherent and doesn't work in any way.
How do you know? Because
Stacey,
you've
shut
never
up!
seen it.
God. You see, that question you just asked had absolutely nothing to do with what I was saying. And
Yeah,
the reason for that, Stacey, is because you weren't listening at all. And
Yes, I
that's
was.
why I find it so frustrating having a conversation with you. Because I'm asking you about your model, and you're still, prove to me that your model works then. I mean,
no. Let's revisit this. Jim just said to me that a model, right, can't exist unless it's truthful. It has to work, right? It has to work.
Right.
So
right.
wait. Your working model. Show me a proof of it. Show me that gravity making water.
Right.
Come to that ball, please.
Well,
Wait, Jim, please, I'll let you speak. If it has to work, how do I know it's working unless you prove it to me it's working? So please prove it to me now.
No.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Because at the moment, we're settling this point of whether you can or cannot provide a model as has been claimed.
I've already told you we could.
Shut up. Can you provide a model? And when I remember what I just said. When I say a model, I mean a work. Listen carefully. I mean a working model, not just incoherent nonsense. So,
right.
Can you or can you not provide a model of the flat Earth?
I bet we can if we get together. Now, I question to you is
no,
because I don't have a model.
At this moment, right now, can you or can't you?
I'm not the one that has a model. You do. Show me working.
Well,
Show it to me working, Jim.
I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the other guy who I didn't see who was talking. But
Me,
he's the one that
talking.
said, right, you said you could provide a model, a computer model of the flat Earth. So is that true or not?
Yeah, we could.
Hold on, we can or we could, because that's two different things, isn't it?
Yeah,
One is we have a model.
Have you
here
heard
it
of
is.
sci-fi?
We can show you, and the other is at some point in the future we hope to have a model.
Hey, Jim,
yes.
Have you heard of sci-fi? It's not that hard to make something believable.
Right.
So we could.
However, so far you failed in that endeavor. So
we can make a model. We can straighten everything out, make it look.
Go ahead pretty. Then. Let's see it.
Hold on. I want to address.
Hold on.
Yeah.
May I finish? It's not going to demonstrate what we see in reality, right?
Okay.
Or what's claimed to be reality.
We're back to we can make a model, but it won't work. But it's still a model.
Good white guy told me that you can make a model and you don't have a model. Now you're saying you have a model and you can make one model, right?
Right.
Right. I wanted to respond. I wanted to respond to what he had said, for whatever his name is. Because I was going to say this a little bit ago.
Hey, what's the point of a model?
Jem's saying,
anyway.
Hold on. Well, you heard me just say I wanted to respond to you, man.
Come on, man. I'm not finished. May I finish?
You said what you said. You said your whole point, man. Yeah, you said this already.
No, I haven't. What's the point of a model? Why do you want a model so that?
This is a new point, so let Kosher respond.
Why would you need a flat Earth model anyway?
We will come back to this point when Kosher is responding. Go ahead, Kosher.
Yeah, the thing you just said again is what you had said a second ago, and is what I'm responding to, which is Jem had also said it needs to be a working model. I think those are the two important things that the model would require in this circumstance. It would have to be a model that accurately is describing what's happening, and a model that works with the physical principles that we don't understand. They're not just like, if you do it in a computer, you can make magic things happen just because you're willing it. But you would want it to work on the principles that we know and understand. Like I posted animation I had made using an attractive force that is attracting the water to the surface of the thing. So I'm not like magically making it happen. I'm using the principles that we say this, that we know to understand. So if you guys were to make a model of the flat Earth, it would have to accurately be depicting the Earth, and also everything would have to be behaving with mechanisms that are based in reality. So the thing you said about the sci-fi, it doesn't apply. You can make anything magical happen for visuals.
So all the things you don't have for a globe, you want us to have for a flat Earth? Cool.
Well, they want a working model, right? They want it to work, but then when we ask them demonstrate your model working, like water sticking to an exterior of a ball, then they don't need it.
You're saying you don't have to have a model because you reject the model that we provide.
That's not the sense we're talking about when we say your model doesn't work. We're saying your model does not even match up to what we actually see.
Nope.
Start with that.
It's the only thing that does. Your
It
ball doesn't match up to
doesn't.
anything. Can you
Right.
show
The
us,
ball
Curb, right
matches
now the
nothing I
flow of
see.
water, how it would
Yes,
flow
here
every
in this
direction?
Discord, we will ship in some
Get a
horizons
pen
and a
and
live
paper and
patch of
show us,
ocean
Jim.
See, but I mean,
and
that's
Show
live
the
us
point.
with a
stream
pen
it
and
to you.
paper,
Bunch of
son.
math. You guys have a bunch of stuff that's
I'll make it
supposed
easy
to go
for you.
down
Use a
and it's
crayon, Jim.
God, you
simulation.
guys just
But when
talk
we're
over each
talking,
other and
Whitsit,
talk
you
over
use a
us.
crayon.
when we're
You
sitting
guys
here
don't got
talking
nothing to
about proving
show. You
something,
keep talking about
what have you
talking.
guys shown us?
They want a model, but yet when we ask them for their model to demonstrate water sticking to exterior of a ball, then
You're-
that's when they don't need their model to work.
You're
The
No,
only
I
reason,
disagree.
hold
Why
on,
are
the
you
only
being- why are
reason,
you being
the only
so
reason I'm
hypocritical?
demanding a model is because you said that you could produce one.
But
I
you
didn't
don't even need
expect you.
models to
Listen,
work. You
listen.
don't need
I
models
didn't.
to work. You
I
don't
didn't
need
You said a
models to
working
work.
one.
Nobody said that. I specifically said I needed it to work.
Okay,
I
we want you.
Well, then
We
I
want to
need your
see a
globe
model of.
to work.
Yeah, exactly. We need your
What?
model to work.
It does work.
No, not just in the math. I want to see it in reality. I just heard that a second ago from us.
Right.
We want to see
working.
water
Right,
flowing.
listen,
We want to
listen.
see
Let-
lava. We want to
See,
see
we're in a right
volcanoes,
big fat muddle
waterfalls.
now. Right.
Sewer
When I
lines.
say model, I am not talking about a scale model. You guys are. I thought we'd already established that was nonsense, but
Stop.
apparently it's not. But you said, and so we can forget about scale models for the time being, because you said that you could produce a computer model of the flat Earth. That was your demand, and that's why I'm asking for one. I believe I know the shape of the Earth due to the body of evidence that supports its shape. I don't require scale models of things.
But you've never seen it work in
and
reality,
you don't
though,
require
right? You've
scale
never
models.
seen it
You
proven?
don't require.
Look, we've seen Jupiter. We see gases sticking to the ball of Jupiter moving around. Looks like an atmosphere sticking to a ball.
And you don't require scale models of anything either, of anything that you currently know. You can't tell me anything you know to be true because of a scale model. So you don't require it either. You're just pretending that you do.
I never said I don't require. I actually do require it, but the globe doesn't allow
Well,
that, right?
you
The
haven't
model
so
doesn't allow
far for anything in reality, Stacey. Nothing so far you've required a scale model for. So if you're insisting on one now, that you need to provide some reasoning for why you're doing that.
like water conforming.
You see, you
to a
just
ball,
talk all the way through me.
66,000
Or maybe I
Can we
talked
at
all
least
the way through
provide
her.
one at a time talking,
We
if
should.
nothing else? Just
We should
limit
be
it
able
to
to see
one at
that.
a time. You have the technology to enforce this.
I know. It's me ranting again, isn't it? And I should
Well,
just
no,
stop.
it's not just you. It's you and 5 other flat earthers that won't shut up. They talk over each other.
That's what I was just going to say.
And then they
They're
don't even
talking
hear what
over
each other says, and they pat each other on the back and congratulate each other.
We're all on the same page, asking the same things, and you guys talk a week
At the
and you
same
get that
time,
answer,
though,
and then switch
Stacey.
up the whole. You just did it to me right now.
So get over it. You've been doing it the whole time. You and Dema
I'm
have
not the
talked
one
over each other the whole time.
You're complaining. You guys are whining, not us.
Yeah, you're victims. That's
We just want to have a coherent
No, I'm not playing the victim. You are. But
We
you're
just
crying about it, and then you guys are doing it.
We're
And
just
you
asking you to just be normal. Stop talking all the time.
Same.
Right.
Same, sweetie.
But that is it. Stacey. We're just trying to have a conversation if we can. Although I'm not blameless in this. I have to admit. Anyway, where did we get to? I can't remember.
Nowhere, I don't think, Jim. I don't think we got anywhere.
Well, Stacey, why don't you accept Jupiter as gas, which would be even harder to stick to the ball than liquid?
You know about Jupiter?
Yeah, we can see it. We can see the storms on Jupiter. We can see it. We can see it. It looks like a ball. There's storms sticking to it. It's in our reality.
Wait. Of course.
Well, are we just going to pretend that it's just a projection? Are we just going to pretend that we're living in the Matrix then?
If you guys want to do that, I never said that, but if that's what you'd
Well,
like to do.
you want evidence of seeing something sticking to a ball, and we look up there and we see stuff sticking to a ball. We see the moons going around in orbit for Jupiter and Saturn. Of course you do.
I've never
Look through a $90 Walmart telescope, and you can see the Galilean moons circling Jupiter.
Okay, first of all that stuff that you're looking at is in a apparent location. You don't know where it's at, and you're just guessing.
It doesn't matter. It's gas sticking to a ball. It's gases and storms. It's gases and storms moving around because you can see it.
Prove it.
You can see it.
I don't see it.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You're presupposing that there's liquid in the sky. You're presupposing that there's a whirlpool in the sky. You're presupposing all this stuff. Yeah, well, we've got Cavendish that shows how it happens here on Earth. It sets the underlying premise. And then when we go and look for it, we see it. That's how science works.
No, you can actually see it on Jupiter. And Jake mentioned that, right?
Not really. We actually can't make that happen. But what Isaac Newton, one of the people say, he did this, he created calculus, he did a bunch of stuff. But really, the incredible insight that he had was the combination of things falling on Earth and what's happening, out there, like the moon to Jupiter and then everything else in space. Basically, combining the ideas of those two things and understanding that it's gravity. And he didn't just claim that, and people believe him. He basically he showed that to be the truth. Yeah. No.
There's several moons. Which one you want to know about? One of them appears to be completely sulfur based because you can see volcanoes are sulfur. Another one appears to be mostly water based because you can see that there's a crust of ice over the surface, which may or may not be breaking, exposing water to space. Another one appears to be mostly rock because it does look like just a bigger version of the moon. So what else do you want to know? No, it's not. That's from observations. That's from observations. Yeah, from observations. And this is what science does. It finds things out. It doesn't presuppose anything. It gets connections that join facts together. Completes the jigsaw puzzle of the whole picture. It's a fascinating process.
Same way.
It's a fascinating process. You should try it sometime.
It really is the same process that is used to find really anything. It's not. The only thing that's different about it is we can't get up close and personal and touch it with that means something now. I mean, because what we can do is basically everything else that you would need. We can study the composition by looking at it. We can send craft there and like samples or a closer look.
On Jupiter, no. They've landed on the moon of Saturn. They've landed on the moon of Saturn. They landed on Titan. Did Triton? Yeah, you need to look up the. I'm trying to remember the name of the probe now.
Well,
yeah, I'll try and find the video.
I think I know which craft you're talking about. Unless you're talking about Cassini. But then there was
No, Cassini went to. Oh, it might have been. Yeah. Huygens, there we go. Huygens space probe that landed successfully on Saturn's moon and Titan in 2005.
There you go.
Thank you, ugly tiny horse. Yes, there's a video. Yeah, there's a video on the NASA site.
Hidden.
Or is the on
NASA.gov, Chemo.
the ESA, or is it the ESA site? Is it European Space Agency?
It's hidden. There's no way to find it.
So you ask for a video, and when there is one, it's made up. It's your default position is everything is made up. So why should we volunteer any information if your default position is it's made up? Yes, we know it could be made up, but it doesn't have to be made up. It's also possible they really sent a probe there.
That's worthwhile.
I wanted to just before we got too far away from the beaten path. Although I'm interested in this Huygens on the site now. I think actually it's for some reason I think it might be the same mission as Cassini for some reason because they're
Huygens was travelled with Cassini. Huygens travelled with Cassini, was dispatched from Cassini when it orbited.
No, I think Huygens was dispatched from Sheboygan.
You fucking fucker, dude.
I don't know.
Oh, Boykin.
Cassini, I think, is an Italian name. You know? I'm not 100%.
Yeah, Cassini was the astronomer who first noticed the Cassini gap in the Saturn's rings.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Because then something crazier would have to be happening. I don't think it's a waste of time at all. Just like this morning, I don't want to call anybody out, but this morning I was impressed by something I saw, and it was because I thought it was somebody had fooled me for a moment. I thought they did a good job, and if somebody were to do this on a big scale, and to fool me in such a way that the things that I know to be real, not because it's like a hunch or something, but because of the interlocking, like logical, the sense that everything makes, like the way that everything fits together and corroborates with everything else. If that was all a lie, that'd be pretty impressive. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean everything, because you wouldn't be able to just say one thing that you could be like, oh, space is fake, but a lot of other stuff's real. Almost everything would have to be fake if we started to find out some of that stuff is fake.
Pretty damn impressive, man.
Well, I mean, I might as well lay back down and start my life over if that were true, because everything I know wouldn't make sense anymore.
Considering you emo. Emo, you guys won't even go past the 60th parallel. You think you're going to take us on some amazing journey of enlightenment? Come on.
What about Paul? Didn't Paul say he was there last year?
Didn't.
What about Paul? Paul, there's the guy from the server, the smart guy from the south.
All on the plane.
Well, where was your? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I thought he said that he'd been there last year or something like that.
You want me to go back through the recording, Chemo? Because I can do that.
Where was your Norwegian arrested, Chemo? Because it's my understanding, I could be wrong on this because it's a long time since I looked at it, but it's my understanding that he actually landed in Antarctica and he got himself home again, produced a reality TV show based on his journey. And as a result of that, he was arrested and charged, I think. Right. So he was able to cross the 60th parallel and land in Antarctica. And if he hadn't produced a reality TV show, he would never have been arrested.
He didn't have it. He didn't have the appropriate permits. Correct.
I don't think that. I think I don't think that was what he was charged with. I think one of the things he was charged with was provoking a polar bear. I think was one of the things, and I can't remember what the other one was. But I don't think he was. Anyway, the point
that's not made up, man. If you provoke a polar bear, you could get charged. You could get jailed. I've been up to Churchill, Manitoba. That's like the 58th or 56th parallel up north. And no, that's serious. You could get charged for provoking them.
This guy was in the South. At least the one.
Yeah. I was just thinking. Well, it can't have been, but I'm sure I read that somewhere.
Well, it says here. It says on the thing he posted.
Interaction with a polar bear somewhere. But anyway, the point is, he landed in Antarctica, so you are able to go there.
It says
landed in Antarctica. I didn't know they had polar bears in Antarctica.
No, they don't. They don't have polar bears in there.
Well,
have we just been through this? I'm sure we did.
Yeah.
Right. So it says that he got arrested off the coast of Chile because of because he gave a wrong name for his boat to the Chilean naval people.
I don't think New Zealand that actually put the call out for them.
So was he in the North Pole or South Pole? I don't get it. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
He was in the South Pole, okay? There were no polar bears.
So why are we talking about polar bears?
Antarctica.
Because I think that may have been on another of his journeys where he got into trouble for some interaction with a polar bear. I think I'm getting confused.
There is no South.
Yeah, polar bears.
That's trickery. Sorcery of the mouth.
Sorcery of the mouth.
Should I be playing the clip curve?
Of Kim? No, we hear enough of Kimo. We know he's lying.
Yeah, but he had already gone there and so he'd gone there and left. It had nothing to do with Antarctica. You know what I mean?
Have you ever tried to? Sorry, I'm over talking.
No, you're fine. No, that my point was made.
He did the equivalent of breaking into a building, making a video about it, and then uploading it. And the police were like, "Huh, you broke into a building you shouldn't have been in,"
No, but
and arrested him. He
Antarctica related though.
That's undeniable. Which is fine. It's just an analogy.
So they were there watching him. I didn't know this place was so populous.
The fuck?
Do you think that they stop you from doing these things without being ready for it because you're probably going to die?
Right.
Probably.
What do you think about those races? What do you think about those races that people do that goes around Antarctica in a full circle?
Please tell
me. Like sometimes bigger, longer than a circle sometimes. I think one of the ones I've seen, they start in Chile. They start in Australia, and I think where was it? I should say somewhere in the south of Australia, and they end up in the same place. I think it was Albany, Australia, is where it was, and they end up back at Albany. Or they get back to Australia. They pass both Antarctica and Africa. That's right. They do. They go around the whole world. So they go past Africa and Antarctica, and they go past South America and Antarctica. The whole time they're going around Antarctica. Oh. Yeah, but that's the other problem is that the dudes who've done it, they've had the world records for fastest times, which basically give you a limit to what the distance they could possibly have traveled. Even though the distance is known, if you were to say it was actually a bigger distance they traveled, they still did it in this record time, which would they'd have to be doing impossible speeds if the ice wall, like you say.
So, Chemo, you know what you need to do is find one of those racers, one of those people who are on those boats, and see if you can flip them to say that they saw the ice wall or that they were diverted away from the ice wall. So surely, out of all those sailors, somebody's seen something. You need to get a hold of them. Well, right. So you need to go get one of those sailors and have them tell the truth.
Yeah, for what it's worth, let me just say one thing about the sailors. For what it's worth, there was a race.
Did he break out for anybody besides me? Okay.
Small mercy.
The universe didn't want him to finish.
Such an anticlimax, wasn't
it? I know, right? I think the sailors are where you go. You got to get one of them to tell the truth.
That was the NASA mute button.
Yeah. So I actually have a question about sailors. There've been like a few 16-year-old people that have circumnavigated from Australia to, the other side of Australia. How did they do that if there's a wall in the way?
Yeah.
They're lying about it.
Well, they
were really just smoking weed at their friend's house.
Well, I mean, these 16 and 17-year-old people must be, part of the whole conspiracy to keep the thing hidden or something. "16 and 17-year-old Spurs." So the 16 and so are the 16 and 17-year-olds that have done it on it or not? Well, like I just said, there are 16 and 17-year-olds documented of having circumnavigated from Sydney round to Perth, and they didn't, turn or run into any wall or anything like that, and nothing like that. They made it. So the question was, are those, young people involved with this global conspiracy or the flat-wide conspiracy is the question that I had. Well, no, they left from Sydney, circumnavigated the globe and ended up in Perth. How do they do that? Depends on which part you're at. Some of it has beaches, and some of it, yes, is like an ice shelf. It's called an ice shelf. Well, there's plenty of pictures. I'm not doing your research for you. I've seen them. You're supposed to know this. No, they're not. Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, I'll do your research for you, shall I? Nah, well, should I? Just sea lining.
But I mean, is it really necessary though? Because I'm pretty sure Chemo.
Yeah,
Either way, it's
manipulating a video, so you don't have any credibility left. Sorry.
Either way, it's a boundary holding in the water. So either way, whether it's a 200-foot ice shelf or a big beach with a mountain behind it, it's still a boundary holding in water.
Did you say a big beach?
Yeah, like a beachfront. That's what that guy just said, right? It might be a beach in some area.
He's not here right now, so I talk about. how big he is.
Oh, they're thinking about like a Florida beach. No, I'm just talking about
That's not what
where
I
the
said
water
at all.
meets the
At
land.
all. No, you're strawmanning me now.
Well, no, he was asking
That's
you where
not.
the water meets the land. Is it all ice shelf or is it other
No,
topography? And
it's
you
not.
said it
And I
was.
said
It could
no,
be
it's
other.
not. And I said no, it's not.
So it's all ice. It's all.
Yeah,
No, there
Antarctica
are
is one
some
of the
parts.
biggest
Oh my
coasts.
god.
Go ahead,
There's some
Cypher.
parts that are what? Some parts that are what? That's
No,
all.
you go, Kosho. You're right.
Well, I was just simply saying that it's got one of the biggest coasts in the world for like a single, single place. So I'm pretty sure that you're not going to find one, attribute around the whole thing. It'll have some places where there's cliffs, some places where there's something like a beach, some place where there's floating ice. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Yeah,
think, too.
different features. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. You said that. I don't know why you're
Well,
disagreeing. That's what we're saying.
no, I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I'm wondering why that's in question.
Yeah, he just told us it's different. Some is ice, some might be cliffs, some might be like a land region that gets higher in elevation. So it's all bounding the water. It's where the water meets the land, right?
Some of it might be snapshots from Iceland, like you posted the other day, claiming the. Remember Reykjavik, Iceland, and you said it was Antarctica, despite
Yeah,
being clearly
I've
labeled.
been shown that as that's what Antarctica looks like, and that's what y'all asked for. What would Antarctica look like? And I posted
No,
those pictures. Yeah,
you
it looks
said
like
it
an
was the
ice
ice
shelf.
wall, you lying bitch.
I'm
You
not
fucking
lying.
got caught out.
That's what
You got caught
happened.
caught on yet another lie. How flirf.
I literally Googled Antarctica ice wall, and those are the pictures that came up, and you're calling me a liar. You're weird, man.
Bullshit.
Whatever.
Bullshit. It said Iceland
Whatever
Reykjavik.
makes your life. I don't even
actually
know
gave
why
you
you're bringing this personal stuff up.
You fucking got caught lying
Why are
then,
you
and now
bringing
you're
this
lying
personal
it
stuff
now.
up?
Double down. Double down, buddy. Reykjavik, Antarctica. Well done, brother. Geography plus. You're a lying cunt, Rakira. You
So
can't
do
even
they
own
look
that
different than what the
Bad
pictures I posted? The pictures I posted showed the ice shelf, like 100-foot, 200-foot cliff of ice. Does the
Reykjavik,
Antarctica
Iceland. You
ice
fucking know.
shelf look any different? Does it look
You
different,
saw the
sir?
label on the photo, just like I did when I reverse searched it
Oh
and
my
undid you and
goodness.
your
What is
fucking
y'all's
lying.
problem?
You're a lying
All right,
cunt.
well,
And I proudly say, if you
Kosha,
bear
what's
false
going
witness,
on
you're
here,
going
bud?
to hell.
Yeah,
what's going
Kosha,
on here is
what's
you're
going on?
talking to a
Now I'm
different
going to
dude,
hell?
and I'm not the guy that you're talking to. So I don't know why you brought me up. I
I'm not
talked
sure
to you
why
about this the
you're
other day,
allowing
man.
him to
You're
tell
talking to
me
him about
I'm
something.
going to hell. Yeah. Yeah, he's not
There
answering
you
my
go.
question.
There's a picture of the whole of Antarctica. There you go.
How high would you need to be to take an observation that large? No, yeah, well, it's for sure. Yeah, I've got a drone. So I'm wondering what altitude would I have to be to see an object this size. Right, that's yeah, exactly. And there's helicopters and there's hot air balloons. There's a lot of things that go in the air. But what I'm asking is, how high would I need to be? No, not at the same time, like not at a single moment. I'm just saying they pass by these things. But regardless, I'll just go ahead and just cut to the chase. You got to be really high to see this shot, a live shot of this. You're gonna have to be in a satellite, basically.
Again,
You're not gonna be
hi,
able.
hi,
You're not
hi.
gonna be able to see it from a plane.
Again.
Is that a satellite photograph or is that a depiction? Like
This looks like a picture. I mean, I like a anime. Sorry, like a
just an
artist.
animation or a drawing? Yeah.
No, that's an actual picture taken with something.
Oh, there you
Comes
go.
up.
That's
But
an
there's
actual
a picture of
picture?
someone. That's an actual picture, okay? Yes, an actual photo. And there's a picture of someone on the beach in Antarctica with the penguins.
An actual
They don't look
picture.
very calm.
No, that's the entirety of Antarctica.
It's the entirety. I got something for this too. you should mention that. That's what I'm about to do. Hang on, I'm just going to find it.
The main point of bringing up that race was to the real distinction between what we think about what the world's doing. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Cypher. It is look at what Cypher just posted. Okay, the real distinction here, the thing that can be verified, is that those are two widely different distances. One of them is, from 50 to 70,000 miles or something like that, while the other one is, I think, less than 14 or I think 12 to 15,000 miles, somewhere between there. So these are massively different distances.
So you want someone to have filmed the race?
Yet you can't even see the ISS from 250 miles away.
Yeah. So you
Just
want
barely.
someone to have.
Just
So
barely.
you want someone to have filmed the race from one side of the planet to the other, or one side of Antarctica to the other, with a drone?
There's a
you're just saylining now, Chemo. No, we're not doing this today. You just say no. How about you now show us a picture of the ice wall and the dome leading up out of that ice wall with someone leaning up against it. I'll accept flat Earth then.
How do you know someone can actually go there, or that you could actually take a picture of it? I don't get it.
Because you can. You can book.
You can
book
take
yourself,
a video and picture of a world famous race, and that's all he's asking for.
You can get a job. He's just posted
like a video. Okay, I posted it. I posted. If you were, the reason why you don't understand what I posted it twice is because you're doing that. You're shouting over me. I posted it twice. Okay, but you want a video? I can find you a video. The video's gonna have a lot less information in it, though. I give you the website to the records of all the championships ever. Cause I've right. Yeah. What's a good example of a world of a race? Was an example of a race that goes over the entire world, being reported the entire time.
Can I put his question in context, Kosho, to you? I own a small boat, right? I'm just a lonely old concrete finisher. Every time my boat goes in motion, I have 4 cameras that auto record every second of that motion.
Hooray for you!
But what I'm saying is that puts his question in context, right?
Do you have
These
enough
are
footage to
world-famous
record?
races, multi-million-dollar boats, multi-millionaires doing this race, and there's no continuous video of it.
Hey, have you ever seen anybody make a continuous 100-day, 24-hour footage of anything?
Yes, I have it.
Dude, that's a ridiculous standard, Rakia. You know how much work it is to man a sailboat? I mean, come on.
Wait, hold on. Rakia, can I see the video from July 2nd? Can I see your July 2nd
I have a hard
video?
drive. I have a separate hard drive that just continuously records all my motion on my boat.
Can I see your July 2nd trip?
Sure. My July 4th trip. I could go pull it up right now.
No, not July 4th. I don't want a special day.
Well, I didn't go fishing on July 2nd. I went fishing on July 4th. It's a tradition.
Okay, but that's a special day. You have a recording of every hour you've ever been on the boat.
Every second my boat is in motion, it auto records.
It auto records, but how much do you store?
All of it.
Okay, cool.
And don't forget, we're talking about sailboats here, and power is at a premium on sailboats. Don't forget that.
No, it's not. They have wind-driven power plants and solar.
They don't.
No,
they have solar panels.
Actually, they do.
They've got solar panels.
And they have wind-driven turbines.
Solar panels that charge batteries.
Yeah, if you're doing a race like this, why would you be concerned with doing this other thing that's extremely
Why would you be concerned with
cumbersome and difficult to do.
document?
Definitely want to document.
The other thing is, who
Why
would
would you
host?
constantly record at
And by the
100
way,
gig
who's to
trip?
say that they don't have recordings of it?
Yeah, who would host this
No,
video?
we're not saying they don't have recordings. We're saying we want to see one.
You're
Who's
saying
hosting
it's
it?
not documented, and of course it is, and just not it by continuous video recording of every vessel. I mean,
No, I'm saying
that's just silly.
each vessel would document. Of course they would. Every
But-
boat that goes out of my marina documents every second of their fishing trip.
Well, I'm
Isn't
sure,
that amazing?
but that's probably, that may well be the case for these.
No, that's
boats.
just how easy it is to do.
Hang on, let me finish.
Yeah.
That may well be the case for these boats. I don't know. But the fact is that their journey in this race is documented without the use of video.
Yeah, I get that. He's just asking for some video.
So
of
do
it.
we require video then? Do we actually require it to know that they do what they do?
I don't know. I'd like to see it.
Well, that's maybe true, but it doesn't necessarily mean they've published it all on YouTube, does it?
Yeah, who's
That
gonna
stuff
host?
that stuff is pretty secret, isn't it? How well they performed and how they could do better in a high stakes yacht race. That stuff is top secret.
Sure can. Yes, that's different than sailboat racing. Yes, it is. The limitations are on the vessel itself. The only secret they have to prove is that they're not using propulsion that's illegal, and that's not going to be caught on video. And they have to
It's
be
true they all
able to
want
prove
them,
that they're in
as
the right weight class.
It's true they all want them, as you've described, but they don't all get them straight away, do they? Of course, that technology gets copied, but sometimes that takes a while for that to happen. And we do see innovations, even in Formula One, that are not shared amongst all the teams. Not straight away. It takes a while for that to happen.
Okay, have you asked them to see if there is this video?
How have you established that they haven't recorded it? Because you don't know that they haven't. Well, that doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
Just because they didn't host 16 terabytes of data somewhere does not mean that it doesn't exist.
Well, it isn't even somewhere, though, Moyok. What he means is he needs them to have YouTube channels with this stuff on.
Right, 16 terabytes of data.
A continuous video recording for months of just them being on the sea. Oh,
actually, somebody posted it, didn't they?
There definitely will be some video of it, won't there?
There's tons of videos of it. You just want to see any video of it. It doesn't have to be the full thing.
Well, he just said a day, so that's fine. So
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's tons of videos that show these races, man. Hold on. I had to show this in 24/7 like 2 months ago, and they did the same thing you guys are doing.
Yeah, the race just doesn't happen. All these people they just make it up every year.
Yeah, so
they don't do it every 10 years.
There's a documentary on it.
Or every 4 years, like the Olympics. So they do it every year. They do it every year, do they?
Here's one of the guys with the record. Got a long video. Here you go. I told you.
Standard of
It's not going to be the case where we look for it and find it's not there. I told you I've already been tasked to do this and it achieved it. I've seen these videos. It wouldn't be the case that they don't exist now.
So now the now
the video isn't good enough.
Yeah.
All he needed was the video. Now he's got the video. Oh, now he needs an interview with him.
Of course. Goalposts, of course, will move.
Pete, there was one guy on Jeranism or Ballbusters or whatever it was that said he was in one of these races. I don't know if it was the one that claims to go around Antarctica or another race similar, but he gave a lot of insight on how it was, and he talked a lot about the time changes and time zones and things like that. So there was one that came out and did an interview. I'm not really sure if it was exactly what y'all.
And too bad almost all those flat Earth interviews with people like pilots and things end up just being totally fake.
Yeah,
military guys that claim all kinds of nonsense about I worked on tanks and we don't take into account the curvature of the Earth and all this stuff.
Right, those are videos where they go in the cockpit and ask them if they're flat. They're probably just trying to brush them off and get them out of the cockpit. Yeah, the video that I've made with my mind, interviewing pilots that I know that are in my family, those are probably fake too. But maybe
your brother is a pilot, right, Rikia?
Yeah, and my nephew and two other people.
Does he think the Earth is flat? That's shocking.
Yeah,
it's
shocking.
Kia, it's because he's not a real pilot, and you're just not a real person.
Right, maybe.
All right, Chemo, I did find the video you asked for. Here's the racing, the finish line. No, here's the finish line. You asked for the finish line. Here's the finish
line. I'm curious though about what Rikia. Don't be offended, please, Rikia. I'll try my best to not say ask offensively, but I'm curious about this pilot brother and the extent of his belief. Without accusing you of lying, I mean, I'll just ask, like, when you say he's a flat earther, like, could you describe, his how does he believe it like you do, or does he vaguely said he believes it, or what's the extent of how much he believes it?
I'm not sure what you're trying to probe for. I mean, maybe one day
I'm trying to see if he's
him yourself. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if he actually really believes it.
Actually, it'd be awesome if you could bring him on here.
Yeah. He's not as tolerant as I am.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to have him talk to what's his face, who's a pilot in here.
Yeah, I think you'll be seeing a lot more people. I mean, this is not like being hidden.
Because Wolfie has been begging to talk to a pilot for a long time, flat Earth pilot, and not one has come forward that's willing to do an interview with him.
Yeah, it's tough. It is definitely tough. It's tough for my brother, to openly talk to like business partners or, clients and all, because it's really a hard thing.
Is he a pilot by profession, or is it a hobby for him?
No. He's just a private pilot. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't fly. He doesn't
he's
fly.
Not a commercial pilot.
He doesn't fly from one continent to another. He doesn't do transcontinental flights.
No.
Hey, with this 15,000-mile finish line video, how did they make it around the entire Antarctic circumference in 15,853 miles?
Should be 70,000.
That's substantially less. Well, actually, you've gotten several videos. So, I mean, which video are you talking about?
That's the reason I brought it up. As I said this, the reason is the difference, the distinction between one being, like I said, 15,000, roughly 12 to 15, one being, 60 to 70,000. So two vastly different distances.
We just presented it.
No, stop lying, Stop lying, because this, I'm responding to something that Moyak had just said. You responded to what Moyak said when he's showing you the finish line of the race. It's exactly what you asked for. So that's been presented to you. So then, and when we say this, you say, "Oh, we're not presenting anything." No, we presented that. So it's evidence of that distance. Now we had to address the original problem.
Let's see if the start of the race, the video is showing the landmass off to the left side of the boat or port side of the boat or whatever it may be, and then the That's
oh God, they're not in sight of land the whole time.
If he did this race in that time limit, and I think the record time was 100 days, some 101 days possibly. Might have been faster. I can't remember. But either,
Around 102 days, 101 days. You're right.
Right. So how would he have been able to do this if it were in any other model other than the one that we described as where it's a continent, the South Pole? No. Yeah, we're showing that this is impossible in one case and that it only works in the other case. And so in your case, the one that is possible or the one that's impossible, I'm asking you how it would work. I have to talk to this guy to find it out.
Wow, you
Well,
know what?
the island
In
of
order to do
Antarctica,
that,
around the whole entire island of Antarctica. Yes, they do. According to that picture, they leave this tip of South America, travel on the east coast of Antarctica, and go around the whole entire country and land in, what is that? Is that Australia?
There's all sorts of different races, and some of them start in different places and whatever. But there's plenty of them that start and end in Australia.
in order to pull it off in 102 days, you'd have to do 28.59 miles per hour around the flat Earth.
You claim they don't provide evidence for them not doing it. You claim that they don't provide your evidence. Perfect. Perfect.
Well, there is no wall.
But again, that's not that. Hold on, Chris. The question is not what did they see on the right or on the left. The question is, they started and ended in the same spot. And the entire time, let's say Australia, let's say they went eastward. So Australia was always on the right. I'm sorry, Australia. Antarctica was always on the right. Okay, the entire time they started and ended in Antarctica. I mean, in Australia. But knowing these two facts and knowing the time that it took, okay, the mechanism you just said, they could have won either way. So I'm arbitrarily saying they went eastward, and Antarctica was on the right side. But there's plenty of different races where they do plenty of different things.
There's no east on a flat Earth.
Again, let's not focus on anything but the distance, okay? Because that's the problem. That's the distinction between the two. So we're trying to figure out how that would work in that one.
Chemo made the claim that they couldn't do it because the distance wasn't great enough. I want him to provide evidence for the claim that they didn't do it.
They went clockwise.
Provide evidence for what you're claiming right now, then. Go around Antarctica. I'm not sure what it matters whether they have GPS or not. They didn't go around the wall. They went around Antarctica, the continent of Antarctica, which happens to be surrounded by water on all sides.
Because of the distance they traveled. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's why we're focusing on that point. That's the distinction. That's what tells you the difference.
Yeah, the distance.
It absolutely is. That's why I'm focusing on that point.
Miles, right?
There's no way for you to go 12,000 to 15,000 miles and it be a wall that's circled around the Earth. There's no way to make sense of that.
That's
bigger. That's smaller. That's smaller than the equator. The equator is 25,000 miles roughly. If it's smaller than that, then already the idea of the world that you're talking about doesn't make sense.
Silly hypothetical. Absolutely fucking fact.
They went out into the ocean and drove around in circles for 2 days, then showed up.
Yes, they have. They have tracked their positions. Absolutely, they have. That's a lie. Again.
I have the pictures that I kind of posted to the dude who did the same thing you were doing in 24/7. I'm gonna show them to you, but it's not gonna make a difference. But if you need to see them and you know they exist, and I'll show them to you. But I can show you their route as well. Absolutely.
Clockwise.
And I'm sure they log their position. I know they will be logging their positions, but I bet you they're logging them with some, authority that is governing the rate.
You don't have to log them. You have charts that you set a route, and it, like every time you deviate from that, it's all logged. It's all kept for you. I can show you every track.
No, but
I have 50 tracks still on my GPS tracking system.
There's a site that has the records because some of these people made the world records, and there's a catalog of their data and their achievements, also that kind of stuff. Because it is an official. I forget what the name of it is.
You don't have to make a log.
There's an official.
Auto tracked.
Yeah, but maybe for just riding in a boat. I'm talking about doing this race where they're, achieving world records and stuff.
They're in multi-million-dollar yachts, racing yachts, sailboats.
And nobody's saying they don't have
information. Around
yeah, we're
perfect.
just asking.
They were in multi-million-dollar yachts. So what? They traveled around the South Pole. And
what I'm saying is they have GPS tracking systems. It's all tracked.
Right. So they are making a log. I mean, it doesn't matter if it happens automatically. They're still making one as they go along.
Well, the fact is, whether they were in a yacht or a little canoe, it was still 16,000 miles and not 70.
Just need the distance and make sure that they went.
Get on the crew of one of them.
That's dumbass.
Because they don't care about flat earthers, that's why.
No.
They're not doing it for the flat earthers, they're doing it for the journey.
No one said they should. They should have tracking, right? I mean, these things are.
Why do you keep saying that? Why do you keep babbling about this?
I'm not babbling. Are you talking to Leo?
No, I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not
Rakia.
babbling.
Dave Rakia.
Yeah, you don't have to say my name so ugly. It's Rakia. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, whether it was a canoe, whether they swam, or whether they were in a $50 million yacht, it was still 16,000 miles.
Yeah, even swimmers these days, you can go track swimmers that have these personal tracking devices on.
You're missing the point whether they swam around the Antarctic continent or did it in a canoe or did it in a $60 million yacht. It was still 16,000 miles.
Right, and I think he's just asking to see that tracking on the map. Like, let's see it.
Yeah, I posted 3 different examples, 3 different times, 3 different ways. One is comparing it to a balloon, so I don't get confused that they show it. But yeah, and then one posted one. So the routes are here, man.
Looks like a navigation route. It's not. It's from GPS.
The first one I posted was a poster that was made by the Antarctica Cup. I'm sorry, I think this might be the website I was talking about too. Yeah, it's the Antarctica Cup, and this official race, which they do every year, which people participate in. You would have to be telling me this entire thing is fabricated. They have the checkpoints on here too. There's something like, I don't know how many checkpoints. Looks like there's 15 checkpoints. It would be impossible unless you have some extremely fast speed that you're going constantly. Yeah, right. Or it's closer together, like it's on a globe. Because you have to understand that if the equator is 25,000 miles, then once you go past the equator, if you're going to say that it's not bigger than 25,000 miles, then you're already stating that it's a two-sided shape where it's converging just like it is in the north, converging back to a single point. So,
Yeah, he's dragging you through facts. Yeah.
I thought my question.
If the equator was that size.
You know that.
which one of those things that you're saying are you denying? You're denying the size of the equator?
We're just saying it might all be in doubt.
You don't need to say if it's that size, if nobody's denying it.
The video I posted, you asked for. You never stopped. All right, I don't know what you want. The video that I posted looks like a GPS track that they're doing. You can see all the jugers and all the times that they wiggled off the course. It looks like that is probably from their GPS. So what do you need more? Do you need the GPS timestamps? And if we get you those, how do you know that they weren't fabricated? Well, no, I'm asking how do we prove it to you that they're not fabricated? I can make a GPS track. Oh.
Yeah,
You deny anything we give you.
Yeah, as I told you, you would. So on the poster that I posted, well, it has the record I'm about to post as well. It shows that there's 18 checkpoints. Okay, and here's his certificate that he did it. Hold on. Here's his certificate and his course record. Hold on.
Hold on a minute. The guy's got a certificate, Chemo. He's got a certificate. You can't argue with a certificate.
You have a.
I was being sarcastic.
Probably 100 people participating in this race at least, and all of them.
When was the last time we believed you, Chemo? How can you say we believe everything?
Right.
Well, you weren't here this morning, Scott. I was.
I'm just saying. I don't think I've believed something Chemo said for a year or more. That's perfect.
You plant seeds of bullshit.
How about it when we say there is, and you say you go out find out for yourself that there is.
You throw people off though by planting all those seeds that turn out to be false. As you know, I realize now that you're just helping us learn how to research, but so many of those seeds just turn out to be wrong.
Yeah,
and it took a long time to realize. Oh, I see.
Chemo, you know how bad it is, Chemo. No one's even circumnavigated the Earth east to west. Think
That's
about
true.
that.
I've circumnavigated the Earth east to west. So.
No, you don't. You're lying.
I'd post it to you as many records as you possibly need, unless you're just going to deny it based on principle, which you're doing, which is fine. But don't lie to me at the same time about what I'm doing. Okay. So, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and show Scott your video this morning? Nobody will spoil it. I think it was great.
You know what is something that gets brought up every once in a while, but it's really a huge problem for flat Earth. I was just thinking about in order to go east on any flat Earth map, that means the plane has to be constantly turning left. Kind of like but I'm just thinking about a plane. Kind of like their whole thing about how they have to be constantly going down, but of course that's not really true. But they would actually have to be turning left. I mean, they really there's no mechanism to help them do that. They have to actually be holding the throttle, the yoke, such that they would be banking left the entire time.
Not if you never.
Wow. But what if it wanted to go east, it would have to do what I'm saying. Is that right? I understand, but if it wanted to fly due east, it would do what I'm saying.
What about these? It depends on where the continents are in relation to each other.
It just seems like if you want to fly due east on a flat map,
You
you're
just
going to have
follow
to be turning
I-20 all the way across America.
Well, no, not if it's the Mercator.
No, even the Mercator. Why not the Mercator?
What's the one they have in the schools? Just the flat, this rectangular one.
Yeah. I already told you about that, man. You can lie about whatever you want. Want his blood? His blood, or what do you want? Do you want him to eat a piece of grass from each of those checkpoints? Piece of seaweed?
That's
there would be checkpoints.
Why do they have to do it just for you? Why can't they just drive it to drive it? Chemo, if there's someone... Chemo, if there's someone that lives in Australia, if there's someone that lives in Australia and they just want to drive across the continent, drive across it, why do they have to document it for you? Who are you to tell them to document it? Someone can go across the continent of Antarctica and say they've gone across it. Why do they have to document it for you? Why do you have to have the documentation? Why do you care? I go to work and go to Walmart every day 5 miles from my house. That is a claim. That is a fact. Why do I have to document that for you? Why does it matter? That's what I'm saying. Why do you care if someone drives across the continent of Antarctica or Australia?
I track all my work trucks every day. I can show you their tracks, their routes, where they went.
Yeah, but I don't need that. I don't need you to show me every inch of every portion.
Because there's nothing in contest. Like, but if someone got in a wreck or didn't show up to a job, I would have the tracking.
Perfect, but Chemo,
no one cares if you're going to Walmart.
Anyone that drives across the continent of Antarctica has to document their proof that they did it. No, they don't. They just go do it, and they're doing it for themselves, not for Chemo.
No one says they were doing it for Chemo.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Why would I have to prove it? Why would I have to prove it? He wants to know, why would I have to prove it?
Oh my goodness. Can we move on from Lale, please?
No.
It's nonsensical.
If you want to move
Chris,
on, leave,
Chris, we should try to know when our persistence is exhausted.
I'm sorry, but if I leave and go to the Dollar Tree store and don't go all the way straight to Walmart, and I spend an hour in the Dollar Tree store, I don't have to tell my mom I went to the Dollar Tree store before I went to Walmart. I can just go there. Perfect. Oh well, she doubts me. I went to the Dollar Tree store.
Okay, well, there's a reason I posted to you what I've posted to you, so we wouldn't have to have these kind of conversations.
The purpose for flat earthers is to detract from facts.
There's official organizations. What's the fact, Chris?
The facts are, whether they're swimming or driving a canoe or in the ships, they're traveling 16,000 miles around the continent of Antarctica. Documented fact. They don't have to prove to chemo that they actually did it. They just go do it.
Great point, Lil. Thank you, man.
It's true, but in this case, there doesn't need to be an example.
Examples. They don't need a document for you, chemo.
What do you mean?
They're doing it for themselves, not for you.
Moderator. He says one more example, as if it was a first example.
Hey, can I give one example? Can I give one example, please?
No.
Well, can I actually give
Can we get Lale droning on and on and on and on again about
Walmart? They don't need to document it for you or any other flat earther. They're documenting it for themselves.
I have. Can I make one statement, please?
Can you go right after me, David? I'd be appreciative if you just wait and you go right after me, and I'll be very brief. I'm just saying that I've posted this. I'll post it again. It's the World Sailing Speed Record Council. It's a very official council that's been established specifically to verify all these claims and races and all this other type of stuff. And they work daily to verify any of these claims, any of these races, the checkpoints, and all that kind of stuff. The records that go to Guinness Book of World Records, and actually giving them the certificates that say they've done these things. Okay, so they've established all the races I told you about. The dude who did the record, and all that stuff. I'll post it again, just so you get what they're about. But I don't know what else you would need other than that.
Hey, Ricky, what do you think about the fact that we'd have to travel 28 miles per hour, 24 hours a day, in order to go around the circumference of the flat Earth?
I think both arguments are nonsensical. It's ridiculous, actually.
And I did promise David
for themselves.
Yeah. I promised David he could say what he had to say when I was finished. I'm just giving him the opportunity to do that, Chemo, if he's still there. No, David. I told David he could, if he's not still there, then it's fine.
I just don't see why they have to document it for you guys, you flat earthers. They're doing it for themselves because they want to see if they can win the race. But I'm talking about the people themselves who do the thing. Why do they need to do it for any flat earther? They're doing it for themselves. Why do they need to document it for flat earthers? That's my question. No. What I'm saying is they, the racers, don't have to do it for anybody but themselves. Why do they have to document it for flat earthers to prove that they did it? Great, you can doubt it all you want, but that doesn't change the fact that they don't have to provide the information for you. They've done it for themselves. They know that it's true.
I doubt you're a flat earther, Chemo.
Woke up today. You don't have to do that for anybody but yourself. You don't have to document that you woke up.
I doubt you're talking about the truth and that you believe the Earth is flat. Prove me wrong.
Great. My claim is that they're not doing it for you. They're doing it for themselves. Perfect. Whether I believe it or not, they are doing it for themselves. That's a fact. I don't go to Walmart to work because you want me to document it. I do it for myself.
Okay, guys, I challenge you both to only say something else about what you guys are talking about now if it's different than something you've already said. Because you guys are saying the same thing over and over again.
But Chemo's rejecting the facts.
You live surrounded by countries that are communist and socialist, where the government dictates what people think, see, read, and everything else. In America, we have come to the conclusion now, after Flat Earth, that we're under total censorship. Why would you believe anything other than what you can prove for yourself? Thank you very much.
I'm not the guy who said that you can't ask these questions. I'm the guy who gave you the answers. Yeah. Well, that's because I've given you the answers and you're still asking the questions. That's the part that makes it.
Yeah, and my answer is they're not doing it for you. They're doing it for themselves. It is. You don't have to accept it, but it's suitable. It's the answer. Chemo just immediately trying to get it again. Why do I have to accept what you say is true, Chemo? Why are you the source of truth? No, I'm asking you, why are you a source of truth over Kia or any other flat earther? I am. Why is any flat earther the source of truth? Go. We do? You have to deny reality to make the most sense? That doesn't make any sense.
Lel, all you do is toe the party line. You never come up. You're not questioning anything. You just read what everybody else is going
You're
along
not
with
accepting anything.
and say it's fact.
Really?
No, I accept many things.
Did I say I accept anything?
The things that don't logically add up, I try and investigate. And when I do, the questions get bigger. Not
Really? Leo,
any conclusion you come to agrees to that.
Leo, you're going around in circles. Ask him what doesn't make sense. Like Reikia, what have you found that doesn't make sense to you? What's the biggest one that stands out to you?
The biggest one to me is that there's 8 inches drop per mile from every direction, from every point that I ever have stood on this earth.
You see.
Yeah.
And you can't measure it. No, I agree. That's what we see. I see boats
measure it actually very
bottom
accurately.
up all the time. Yeah.
Very
Whatever,
accurately.
man. You act like there's no debate about it. Come on.
There really isn't, though, right? Yeah.
Quit. Stop.
All you
stop,
need,
stop.
hold on. You like?
Yeah, we know geodetic surveying. Yeah, we know.
You're like.
Don't just yell over him. Let him say what he's going to say. Yeah, but also a kid can't just start making noise when people are talking. It's like everyone give each other room to speak. And you too, Chemo.
Shut up, Chemo.
We're not losing our heads. I asked him a simple question. I haven't said anything. I asked a question.
Yeah, I know, but you asked the question and didn't let him finish the answer.
He finished, and then I started saying,
"No,
really?
that's not how it happens, Zanuck. That's how
your
brain interpreted it. That's
okay, go ahead. Say your piece. Say when you're done.
I'm done with you. I mean, I'm done.
Then let me talk. So you're still talking. Okay, so
I'm still talking.
There you go.
Doesn't
There you go.
Rakia, just come on, dude.
So let me just say like a sentence without being interrupted. So we do see this 8 inches per, and it's very easy to do 8 inches per mile. We can actually see that by just a theodolite or a trans or anything. And it's not that far away, so there's not a refraction that's going to really come into play here. And, guess what? Surveyors do this all the time. And you say you have experience with these theodolites. You say you have in your truck and in your boat. Well, go use one and go set up an experiment.
I don't have a theodolite in my boat.
Hold on, I'm still talking.
Okay, stop interrupting, dude.
All you have to do, if you really doubt this and you're going to investigate it, go set up a theodolite or anything, a bubble level, whatever, and just do a mile and try to prove us wrong. Like, hey, this mark is not 8 inches below where it should be over a mile. Something simple. People run miles.
Oh my God!
You can run a mile in 6 minutes. It's not that far.
We've heard you, Zanuck. You can't use a theodolite over a mile to get an accurate measurement. We've been over this every day for the last 2 years.
Why not?
And you're going to
you
just
ignore the fact
reinsert
that
it?
you can.
Why not?
Who are you, Lel?
2 years.
Lel.
Well,
how many
why
times
not?
have you looked at the theodolite through a mile, Lel?
Back it up, Mike.
Because
why
light
not?
is affected.
Why
because
not?
You can't. You know why. Why are you asking?
I don't know why. Tell me why.
Yes, you do. Well, then you've never used one.
I have used one.
Well, then you would know why.
The accuracy is 2 arc seconds.
Same argument every day. He knows.
The fun is back.
Twit, why would you give him a nickel?
Count in here.
Okay, there we go. Good for everybody. So
thank you very much, Twit.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is that to Jeremy?
Oh, it's to Gems. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, no, I thought it was for your channel though. That's why I was being petty.
She said, "Lael is a goddamn pitbull." Perfect.
Yeah, guys, just deal with them. Try. Good luck.
Good for you, Lael.
And she also said, "For Friday Fun Day."
Did you say? Did you say what up? Did you say what up to Miss? Did you say hi to him? No. No. Okay.
Yes, which is all very welcome. Because I've not had a good month in that regard.
Wow, that's wonderful, Kimo. You're just babbling.
I'd like to, Timo, can I just end because that was addressed to me, the last little thing. I would like anyone, if they ever build anything that would be a mile long, to go ahead and hire Zanuck and get him to use a theodolite to shoot that 1 mile measurement. And good luck to you. Hey, good luck to you, buddy.
Not hard to do. And by the way, it's interesting that people can look at things and say it's flat, determine it's flat, declare it's flat. Then you use something very accurate like a theodolite or a transit that has an accuracy of about 2 arc seconds. I mean,
not over a mile.
The many orders of magnitude how much more accurate it is in your vision, and then say that it's not accurately done because of refraction or because the actual device says in the manual that you can't use it over 400 feet or something. That's just ludicrous. It just means you're not thinking.
But the difference here is Rocky is talking about building something where you need like a half-inch tolerance. We're not doing that. We're just looking for drops, sometimes hundreds of feet of drop. We don't need half-inch tolerance because we're not pouring a concrete slab that's a mile long. We're just looking for drops. So we have a lot more tolerance we can work with.
Exactly. Also, we have objects, and I don't want to belabor that point that I've made many, many times before, but we have objects that are perfectly straight, 2 miles long. And you can actually see the drop with it. If you brought a theodolite there, if you brought a little one, little $300 unit, and you went to Slack and you asked, hey, can I just look down this freaking vacuum tube to see? And you would see the drop. It'd be like obvious, but you don't want to do any of this, and you question it like it can't happen.
You act like you could even go onto their property and video. That's what you act like. Oh my goodness.
I've been in there before, and I've taken pictures.
Jim, will you tell? Hey, Kimo, will you tell Twin I said what up? Thank you.
No, don't give it him for free. Make him pay. You gotta do it, but you gotta do it via super chat.
Yeah. Jim's like, yeah, you guys should all say hi to each other.
Yeah.
You realize Twin by super chatting all these is making fun of me, right?
And Jim is like, Scott, did you say hi to Rupert yet? Or did you say hi to? Okay, what about? Did you say hi to him yet?
Yeah. Let's see. There's 48 people here. So what's 48 times 48?
What up, Kimo?
You always said you wanted to sell mutes, Jim. You always said that.
I want a percentage.
Again, this is another service we often provide for free. Isn't it? So,
I would like to ask whoever said we have tolerance over a mile when we use a theodolite. We're not trying to build a building. Why would you need tolerance if it's so accurate?
Because everything requires tolerance, moron.
What a dumb fucking
so
question.
so how much tolerance is there? How much tolerance is there?
Oh, it has to be less than 100 feet when you're trying to find 100
No, we're talking about over 1 mile. Over 1 mile, how much tolerance is built into your observation through a theodolite?
Well, what we do is we figure out the tolerance of the theodolite, which is an arc second or two, and then we measure refraction so we know what's the kind of range of refractive index we could get, and we apply that range.
That's
and if
what
you look at something like Rainier, that's what people do. You think I'm a fucking I'm a surveyor?
No,
Bro, I can read. Unlike you, I choose to read things.
Hey, don't get upset.
Yeah.
So you insert the refraction index, right?
No, you don't insert the refractive index. When
well, you calculate it.
Talk about Mount Rainier, for instance. We're missing 8,000 feet of drop. Okay. When I pushed the refraction slider as far as it would go, you lost about 200 feet of that 8,000 feet. When I quadrupled that to the lowest refractive index ever recorded that I could find, you lose about 2,000 feet. So we're still talking about quadruple that. So it's never been measured. As far as I could find, nobody's ever measured that refractive index. It's way beyond tolerance. So what the fuck explains that?
So was that refraction index, is that taking into account perspective and anything else, or just refraction?
The fact that you answer that question is ridiculous, Rukia.
Okay. So we'll go back to your original claim that we can look through 1 mile. We need tolerance over 1 mile because our instruments are so accurate. We need to insert these tolerances. What are these tolerances you're talking about?
That is the most disingenuous question.
It was your statement, not mine. It's not a question.
So you think we measure without tolerances? You think we measure and think we got it perfectly?
How much tolerances and what those tolerances are? You stated over 1 mile. We're not doing it for accuracy for some reason.
That's not what I said.
And we have well, you said we don't have to be accurate. We don't have to be accurate. We have tolerances. That's what you said.
You think I said we don't have to be accurate?
Yeah,
did I say that?
You were saying it doesn't have to be accurate.
Is that what I said?
Half an inch.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
I know.
The main surveyor just did.
I don't think that's what he said, man.
So what did he say, Kosha?
The main surveyor.
He said the tolerances due to the I think he was talking about the crosshair. I'm not sure, but he's talking about the is it about an arc second off if you're trying to be as you're trying to do something
about
the point I made is that
what did he say about not being accurate? He said something about not being accurate.
he was talking about the
point I made is that
we're
not talking about building something where we need a half an inch or taller.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
We're not talking about building something.
You said that.
We're talking about measuring hundreds of feet of drop.
No, we're talking about over 1 mile. It's not hundreds. No, we're talking about 1 mile. You said we're not building anything.
I didn't say anything about 1 mile, asshole.
That's what we were talking about, asshole. We were talking about 1 mile.
You're just a disingenuous piece.
No.
All right, I just want to.
I don't know why you're going back on what you said. Are you scared? What tolerance?
The main surveyor
piece of crap.
Put out a video that showed the surveying techniques used for long distance, up to like 10 and 20 miles. They do exist. These are techniques that exist and are documented. So your claim that you can't do it is ridiculous.
I didn't say you can't do it. I said it's not accurate.
They give you an accuracy on it.
No, he's telling you get
Oh.
accuracy
You're
within a
stupid.
tolerance.
We
Using an
can't.
index.
How accurate is accurate? Is 1 centimeter accurate? Is 1 foot accurate?
You tell me, Lel. When you look through a theodolite over 20 miles, how much of that building is missing, sir? Because Jesse Kozlowski said it could be up to 20 foot.
Ooh, 20 feet over 20 miles.
Great.
Plus or minus. So that's actually 40 foot, right?
That's nothing.
That's actually
That's
plus or
accurate.
minus. So that's actually 40 foot.
That's very accurate.
That's very accurate?
Yes.
That's what he agreed to. Like, that was just a conversation we were having. So what happened to that millimeter accuracy? What happened?
Aren't you expecting there to be like 600 feet or something like that?
Well, are you expecting over 20 miles? There's no perspective, no refraction, no anything else.
I think it's less.
Can you pick any object and look at the object, pick an object,
If I'm
and look
building
at
a
it?
house and I want an accuracy of, let's say, one inch of drop, and they build it to 5 centimeters, have they matched my accuracy and done better? And is that accuracy wrong, or is it better accuracy?
Who the hell cares? Listen,
You never
talking about the amount of accuracy.
Yes, we have tolerances. I'm not disagreeing with the tolerances. I was asking what they were and how they measured them.
Stop,
Where are these tolerances?
Mikey, would you please stop using perspective, the word perspective, unless you really understand what it means or what you're actually intending to say?
Y'all
Because
quit
saying that,
discounting that?
what do you mean? Wait, can I just finish my sentence? What do you mean when you ask, did we take perspective into account? What do
You mean
by
the
that?
sentence when you said stop using it if you don't understand it, period? You mean
If
that
you don't
sentence?
understand it, you shouldn't use the word. Because you're using it incorrectly every time you say it.
Yeah, maybe so. Okay, well.
Not maybe so. I'm trying to help. I'm not being an asshole to you, Mikey. I'm just saying, just stop using words you don't understand.
Yeah. Does the sky and ground appear to converge, Xanax,
using
into the
words
distance?
that don't match what we're talking about.
He
If they
had
built
a question, Leo.
accuracy into
Leo,
my
I asked
one
Xanax a
curves
specific
and
question, Leo.
humps.
What was that again,
I'm
Mikey?
sorry. But
Do objects in the distance appear to converge into a point? I guess what I'm asking, does the sky and ground appear to rise and lower into a
Things at your eye line will always go to
what is that
the
called?
vanishing point. The vanishing point, the
Is that a
diffractive
part
limit.
of perspective?
Well, yes, it's part of perspective.
Where are the clouds at that are going around that curve, guys?
Things that are above you, above your eye level.
Then now you know what I'm talking about when I say perspective.
I know.
We've cleared it up.
Where are the arc of clouds that follow that curve, Xanax?
And then things that are below your eye level will go to the vanishing point as well, the diffractive limit.
Yeah, we can further define it, but when I say
limit is
perspective, now you're smart enough to know what I'm talking
No.
about.
Where are the clouds at?
Things don't. So as long as you're looking at the level, they will not move. Will you agree to that? Regardless of perspective, all it will do is become smaller.
I thought it wasn't level, Xanax. I
in your
thought it was
field of view.
curved.
So wait a minute. So if they build my house to 1 centimeter accuracy, what does perspective have to do with that? It's a fact.
Nothing.
It's just 1 centimeter of accuracy.
Well, what the
Nothing,
hell
you're
are you
right.
even
Thanks,
talking
Lel.
about,
Have a
dude?
good day, Lel.
Lel, you can go play in the mud all day. It's not going to help anything in what you're talking about. Listen,
We're talking about
take
the
an object.
accuracy
Look
of
at
the theodolite. And
right.
measuring
We're talking about a globe. Listen.
Yeah, they're very accurate, over 200
Listen.
foot. Yeah, very accurate.
Hold on,
How does
Lel.
perspective deal with
I got a question
building a
for you,
house
Lel.
to 1 centimeter of
I got a
accuracy?
You
question
don't have
for
to use
you.
perspective while building a house, Layla. It's only like 200-300 foot. Yeah, I'm pulling up on one
Lel.
now. I'll take a
Lale,
picture for you,
I think
Lale.
what the problem here is Reiki keeps on talking about perspective, and we asking if we take it into account, and he talks about how things go toward this converged point of the center point of your at level, and we all agree that's what happens. But if you're using a theodolite, by definition, the line that is level is where everything would converge, and that's the point we're actually looking at. So perspective is automatically taken into account there because we're looking through something that is depicting the level point. So it's not going to matter.
I got an
Everything
idea
that's level
for you
will be at
guys.
that point. There's no perspective conversions because
I
everything
got an
there
idea
is
for
already
you,
there.
Xanax. I know you won't like it, but I got an idea for you.
I hear
You
you
can
mumbling
take
in
like
the
a 4 or
background.
5 foot.
Mark, what are you saying?
Yeah,
You can take a 4 or 5. Well, turn me up a little.
No,
You
no.
can take a 4 or
You're not
5.
saying anything. You're just mumbling.
I'm mumbling.
Yes. Mumble is just when people say just random words that don't make any sense. That's what you're doing.
Okay, take a fucking meter stick. Right?
Take a meter stick. Okay.
To the horizon with you, right?
And
then have your buddy looking at an object that he thinks is over whatever. And when you put that meter stick up, and you can see the meter stick reaches to him, and it reaches the object, and you line it up, and there's no hump in between those two objects.
Hump, meter
Right.
stick, whatever.
Well, listen.
Your buddy.
So you're going to show in between the distance, you have the meter stick, right? That's 3 or 4 foot, 5 foot. You can have whatever the fuck size one you want. You can have a 7 foot one if you want.
Right.
It's going to be straight, right? Not ball, not curved.
Sure.
It's going to be straight. It's a level meter stick.
Meter stick,
Spirit
not a
level.
ball. Okay.
Right. So you can take it, right?
Yeah.
And take an object in the distance like a mountain or
Yeah.
a building or a pillar
Yeah.
from your left along the
pillar to
horizontal, straight, flat water line.
Okay, what a water
And go
line,
as
yeah.
far as you want. You can drive another state
Now
and let us
drive a
know when
state.
you see the curb or the hump.
Now I'm looking for a hump.
This water line
In
is
between
0
any
feet.
two
A water
objects at
line,
any
a hump, a
distance.
stake, a 3 or
Yep.
5 foot stick.
Yep.
I mean, what are
From
you
left to
talking about?
right,
A curve, a ball.
pick your
You mean like
objects
an
and
entire
show us the
fucking
curb
city?
in between them. And then when you put the distance of 30 miles or 500 miles that you
No idea
travel,
what you're asking.
and there's not one fucking hump anywhere,
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
You can't
yeah,
connect,
have
connect
another
this
bong
shit
hit.
together to make a
Seriously.
coherent statement. It's
Have another
weird.
bong
Yeah,
hit.
I know, ball boys. I know imaginary, non-impossible ball havers.
Here goes
I
the-
know.
Yep, here
Yeah,
goes the
Demo,
magic.
I actually- at its
That's the
finest.
most coherent thing you said was
The
incoherent.
most impossible
Yes.
thing you have is a ball. And we're talking about what now?
So, Demo,
You might not
An
have any balls,
impossibility.
but speak for
An
yourself.
impossibility. Show us
Show
your
us my
ball.
balls?
You're
I'm
gay.
about
Not
to
what I
actually
said,
show you my
dumb
ball.
fucking
Demo,
whore
so-
bitches.
See my balls? See my butt you're
You
asking?
fucking
You got a
retard
problem with
motherfuckers.
balls? There.
So, Demo, I actually posted
I said,
you a
show your
picture
impossible
of my
globe.
ball.
Look at that. You
Yeah,
waxed
bitch,
one
do you
of
got
them.
water on it?
You have water on your balls?
Yeah, I have water.
Yeah,
got
you're
water on
supposed
your
to have
balls,
the
so-
flow of water on your
Yeah,
ball,
I have the
motherfucker,
flow of
flowing
water,
up
so
the mountain
I
and down
can
the
look
mountain.
at the
little
picture,
longer,
Do
Demo.
you have
pee on
that?
your balls.
I
Now
have
do
the
you
flow
have
of
that in real
water.
life?
I have the flow of water.
You
I
got
have the
any
flow of
models
water, so when
showing
you look
your
at the picture,
flow?
I have the
Not
flow
go
of
over
water,
the
Demo. Can you look
mountain.
at the picture?
Where
I
is
have
your
the flow
upside
of
down
water, Demo. Can you
waterfall?
look at the picture?
We
Demo,
need
I'm
a
waiting for you to look at the
waterfall
picture,
on a
so I have a
ball.
question to you, actually, Demo, about the picture.
Show us your
Can you look
waterfall
at the picture,
on a
Demo?
ball.
I have a question
Dude,
about the
you've
picture,
said that
Demo.
quite enough. He's
Okay,
giving you an
Dimok, I
example of
have a
something you should
question
look at
about the
now.
picture. Can you look at the picture? Can you look at the picture, Dimok? So there is a picture on the chat. You can go and look at it. There is a cloud and it's raining, and there's an arrow that shows down. Now, my question to you, Dimok, is where do you expect that water to go, down or up?
Where the hell do you expect it to go in your picture?
I'm asking you.
That
So
picture's
where
not
do you
reality. I don't
expect the
fucking have no
where do you,
clue.
Dimok?
Hold on, Dan.
Yeah.
You said where do you expect it to go, Laurie? Where do you
Yeah.
expect it to go?
Yeah, I expect. My question is up or down. So I expect an answer that's
I
either
expect it
up
to go in
or
all
down.
directions like gravity, every
Sorry,
direction.
let's say Antarctica.
Draw your arrows everywhere where gravity is working on
What
that
color
ball on the
crayon would you
outside.
prefer?
Any color,
I
all
already
colors
did
for
that.
every.
We've got an
Demo,
echo
on the
as
earlier
well.
picture,
No,
so-
hold on. When you're done, the arrow's gonna point every fucking direction. What direction is that, ignorant motherfucker?
I think there's an echo
Towards the
somewhere.
center.
So let me ask the question again because you didn't answer. Which
You
way
gotta
is the
put that
water
arrow
going to
everywhere
come
around
up?
that ball, buddy.
Is it going to
Oh,
go
my
down
God.
or is it going to go up?
Look,
If
what
it's
is wrong
raining
with you
around the whole
guys?
ball, it's every direction.
Okay.
Again, I will ask you the question.
Put your
Is the
rain
water
clouds
going to
everywhere
go
on the
up or
ball,
down?
son.
So
Put
which
the rain
way
cloud
is
on
the
the
water
top.
going to go? This is, by the
Put
way,
a
the
rain
last time
cloud on the
because I'm not
side.
going to waste the time
This
here.
is on the way. You're
this
deflecting.
These two can
the
see
last
to
time
not
I'm
talk
going
to
to
one another.
ask.
Reality.
Right? What are we learning from
Is the
this?
answer
That
Which way is the water
Denmark
going
and
to go
Laurie
up or
have not had a
Reality is what we're
conversation.
learning. But you can't put your cloud on the side of the ball. Put your cloud on the top of the ball and show it raining everywhere on the side, on the top. That's every.
I already did that on the previous picture, and you didn't like it either. So shut the fuck up.
You want me to draw you my picture how it rains on a ball?
Yeah, do it.
Well, mine's just gonna have that rain cloud everywhere around it.
Don't tell me about it. You need to draw it.
Show me what direction is everywhere.
Go
and
draw it, Timo. Draw it, Timo.
Where's this echo gravity effect?
Timo.
We have an echo. Gravity affect the crust.
Timo, you need to draw the picture.
Your gravity only affects right there where that rain cloud is? Is that what you're telling me? Gravity only works on the bottom of Australia.
You did offer to draw the picture, man. You did offer. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you retarded bitches ain't never looked at none of my pictures.
You've got an echo.
You fucking retards have never looked at none of my pictures. You could put them in your memory. You could put them in the.
I just need the attention.
Draw me
just for a second.
Show me on
Mr.
the globe.
Grimm, there's an echo. And it could be your mic.
It's coming from him.
Coming from who?
Jim Mark.
Okay. Slightly better. So, damn, can you just fix the echo if it is you? I don't know who it is.
I think it's from this push to talk shit. I don't know.
Okay. And Laura.
It's not bad on my end.
Oh no, yeah.
I have a microphone on, earphones.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, you can carry on, but I mean, it's more like we can't even hear what you're saying, really. Can anyone hear what they're saying? No one can hear what you're saying. So, Laurie, just wait till he finishes, you know?
They're just diarrhea.
He will never finish, and he will never let me speak. So there are basically two options: either I'm never going to finish, or I'm going to have to overshout him. That's how Dimok is. He gets triggered.
Hey, Kimo, why don't you talk about Siberia and how nobody's went across Siberia in 100, 250 years?
Thanks, David. The answer to his question was down. The rain will go towards the earth.
All right, Denmark, try again. Let's try and get Denmark's question.
It looks like up to me. It looks like all directions. All directions. Where does gravity affect the ball? Where does gravity affect the ball on the outside crust?
All right, Dan. Let's get it answered. Let's get it answered. Where does it affect the ball? That's what we want to know. Globus, Laurie, this is your time to shine. Where does it affect
everywhere?
The ball?
So that means all directions.
It doesn't mean every direction.
In all directions, where?
Wherever you say, all directions.
Yeah.
So, for example, let's.
Hold on, Dress. Let Laurie respond. Dress, Laurie, did you hear Dem's question?
Towards the center, he said. Did you not hear him?
That sounds like all directions. Where does it stop?
Well, all directions would be pointing away from the center of mass. So it's not all directions.
All directions. Do you understand what all directions towards the center means?
Only the directions.
No, hold on. So we've got the question here. So Dem wants to know. To stop Dem getting so angry, let's get his questions answered. So all directions. Well, look, we're trying to assist the conversation, right? And Laurie keeps on shouting.
No, you're just interrupting.
Well, look, let's get Dem's question on the table.
One direction.
Let's try and
on the
answer.
table.
We already got that. We already got that part.
Dress, can you stop doing that? We're trying to find a certain level of order, and all we're asking is, can we have
away from and towards the center of mass? So it's not all directions.
It couldn't be, because if I drop this ball, it wouldn't go up in the air.
What's an orbit?
That's a different question, isn't it?
Isn't it going away from and towards and to? And when something affects the outside of an object and it creates a sphere, that means every fucking part of that equally is affected in every fucking direction.
No, not in every direction.
Down on the top.
But hold on, Dem. That's a good question. So let's get. They said you said it's affected in every direction. They say it's not affected. So Dem, they're saying it's not affected.
So now they're saying gravity doesn't affect anything from any direction now towards any center.
Gravity is
which direction? Which side does gravity affect me on?
Towards the ground.
Which part of me?
Getting somewhere.
All of you.
All of
What do you mean ground?
All of
pulling
you.
in one direction.
Isn't that every
All of you
direction?
pulling in one
The
direction.
whole
Hold on now.
outside
No, we're
is
not.
one direction, guys.
Dem's got the question on the table. Can we help Dem? Dem,
Draw
what?
a cube and show us your gravity,
Why
and
did
then
you
show
say
us
the
which
ground?
side.
Why are you
Why
guys
a cube?
entertaining?
Let's use a cube and show us which
Why did you
side your
say the
gravity
ground?
hits.
Right, where's Kosho?
Nope.
Kosho,
By
do
the way,
something.
you can actually debunk.
No, why'd you
magnetism
say the
using-
ground?
No. We can actually debunk magnetism using this same kind of argument. Let's draw a magnet and then let's draw which direction is the pull going to be. Now, Dimok's argument, of course, would be, well, the pull seems to be from all sides towards the magnet, therefore then the magnet doesn't work because it works in all directions, and that makes no sense whatsoever for some fucking reason. So magnetism is
What the
debunked,
fuck
I
are you
guess.
making up? You don't say what I answer.
I
Stupid
can draw
bastard.
you a picture because
I
you
don't give
like
a fuck what
pictures.
you can draw. You
So-
can't answer for me. Stupid fuck.
I
can't even
already
answer for
answered,
you.
and if you get angry, that's just fine with me. You can call
Well,
me
you can
names.
make all the shit up
I
you
actually
want.
like when
You're not
people
gonna
get
be
triggered.
right, son. So keep making shit up like you do, Glober, with no evidence.
I don't really care if you say I'm making shit up because
I don't really care
actually
if all
like
you have
when
is
flat earthers
CGI
get
computer
triggered.
screens. Do you
Laurie.
have anything but a computer screen for your evidence, please?
Laurie, would you not
But a
say that
computer
all
screen.
directions would include upwards as well as downwards?
On a magnet? Sure.
No, just in general. If we're going in all directions, then we're going upwards, downwards, leftwards, rightwards, diagonallywards in 360 degrees and infinite points. And that's not what gravity's doing. Gravity is pulling towards the center of mass, so it's always in the same direction.
Thank you.
So I don't know why Demok keeps, reinforcing this point because
Draw
his
your
question
arrow where
doesn't
gravity
make
pulls
sense.
from for us, real quick. Show us what sense you're talking about.
I already
and draw all the arrows where gravity affects. No, you
It's
didn't.
called
You
planisphere.
drew
It's
one
called planisphere
arrow.
gravity.
Yeah, show us where your ball is affected on the outside from gravity at which point. Just one direction. Show us
Okay,
one
so
spot.
let me ask a
And show us
clarifying
water
question.
being pulled to a ball.
I think you're getting spot and direction.
We also
mixed
need
up.
to have two cue balls next to each other and show us where
I need
one's
to ask a
different than the
clarifying
next.
question as
Where
soon
we
as
can
you
see a
guys are
curve looking
triggered.
on one and not the other. With a little
Yes.
small camera, please.
I got both these for you. Just give me 20 seconds.
Yeah, you tried that last time, ignorant. You still showed two curved fucking cue balls that were identical. Retard. You're fucking retarded, dude. Shut up, retard.
Just give me 20 more seconds with the
I
other
just
one.
want to see
Yeah,
the
you're
ball
retarded.
having water being pulled on.
I want to see
on
the flat
outside of
fucking
it,
cue ball,
conforming
moronic
to a
fuck, not
sphere.
your red colored fucking crayons and
Just show me
fucking
that example.
diagrams of ignorance.
You actually did it,
Just show me
Kosho.
that experiment.
Kinda like a
Okay,
crayon
I'll believe
drawing
it's.
that you
I'll
couldn't
believe
do.
where you live on the
I know
globe.
you say that Demick sometimes has moments of lucidity, but every day, man, it's just more and more. I don't understand why anyone pays attention to him.
Engages. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, said the
But I
fucking
guess it's a
retards who think
self-esteem
they're
boost.
looking at a curved
I
fucking
guess
straight
it's kind of
line.
a self-esteem boost when you talk to somebody who's clearly stupid.
Yeah,
as
it
fuck
says
compared
when
to
you look 1
So I
mile
feel like
forward, there's a
maybe
curve, but not backwards
maybe it
and
makes
not
us all
left and
feel a little
right.
better at the end of the
Maybe
day for
fucking
some reason.
retards don't understand their own model that they can't
See what I
produce on
mean?
any scale. No scale.
It's
Your
like a
own
huge
leader,
projection.
your crown
You mean
fucking
flat Earth,
king,
right?
Jimmy
You mean
Jim
flat
Mo
Earth when you say
Baggins,
that, right?
your king,
Can't
your
produce a
king,
model on any
your
scale.
king
That's
said
you.
you can't produce a ball
That's a large
on any
projection.
scale,
It's an
buddy.
obvious projection that everybody can see you
Talk to your
doing.
king about it.
Because you're the only
Lick
one
your
who has
king's
no model.
boots. Lick
So
your
it's
balls.
very good
Lick
of
your
you
balls.
to point
Balls.
that out.
Suck your balls.
It's like you farted and then you're pointing at everybody else. That,
Don't
you guys
think
farted,
so.
You guys farted.
Listen,
But you're sitting in
non-globe
it. We
producer.
can see that you are the epicenter of the fart.
Okay, guys, let's just try not to do the thing where
They got silent after that. The room was like,
I muted
yeah.
him. I couldn't mute you both at the same time. I
Oh,
just chose
okay.
him,
I
but
probably deserved it.
it's best if you guys aren't talking at the
How
same
did you
time.
choose which one to mute?
I just picked one.
That was kind of
The
And
one
then
that
I asked him to
was
stop
I mean,
talking.
I
continuously
muted
still
both
By
Dan
the way,
and Laurie.
I'm just
because they
asking
were
that
both.
you guys just don't talk at the same time. That's all.
Yeah, he picked the guy that wasn't slinging out the
Can
word
you unmute him now?
every other breath.
Well,
the one that was asking the questions and the one that
The
was
one
not
that wasn't
answering.
slinging out
Right.
the word retard every other breath. I think he made a good choice.
Me too.
Oh, is that
Me
the
too.
standard now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when y'all
Cordiality
start
and
calling
politeness
names, yeah, y'all should be muted, right?
No, Denmark is a human just like Grim. They both should have been muted for both over talking, just like Laurie and them were both
Well,
muted.
both you guys, I'm not going to call you retarded, but I'm going to say somebody who thinks that I can mute two people at the same time. That person's retarded. Okay, I'm not saying you guys are. But I'm going to assume that you're not suggesting that. So since I can only mute one of them at one time, I only did mute one of them.
No, but in school,
And then I asked the other one not
Kosher,
to say anything, and I asked them both
Kosher,
at
in
the same
school,
time.
if a teacher...
Plus, I think I offended a lot less people at once.
Goodness sakes. In school, Kosher, if a teacher saw two students bickering, they would bang both of their heads together, Kosher.
Chemo, did you lose your mod powers, Chemo? Can you still mute people?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I just muted Laurie and Dem at the same time.
Okay,
I just told you.
Then shut the fuck up.
I'm just illustrating that if you were going to mute Dem, you could have got Grim as well, because they're both doing it at the same time.
Wow, you just don't like me, bro. It's a campaign.
No, it's not.
Obviously.
It's not
like
about
I was
you,
calling
Grim.
everyone in the room a dumbass like he was. I was just saying that he was absolutely projecting.
No, but I'm saying not because of you personally.
I don't even deserve to be muted. Actually, you just don't like the fact that I stomped on his ass.
Is he still muted? Because this guy's still able to talk. Is the other guy still muted?
No,
yeah, well, I'm
muted
taking my
back there.
time. I'm not interrupting people.
Grim, I think the difference was when Kosho started speaking, you shut the fuck up, and
Yeah.
generally Denmark just keeps going.
That's true.
Bit like Lemonbird does,
I do
or
try-
Chemo does when you're in the middle of a point.
Yeah, I do try to do that for Kosho.
Why are we having it? Is this
Scott,
because you guys can't
particularly.
prove a globe? We're arguing over nonsense. Again, this is just meaningless. Okay, what's not meaningless is the fact that we are on a flat plane. Horizontal is level.
You can't prove
You
that.
can't show that level or horizontal
Show me an edge.
is curved. Why did you see? Why would you do that?
I actually have a.
You're trying to bring it back to the flat Earth and not the meaningless.
I have a question
chit-chat.
to you, Kimo. Can you listen to a
Okay.
question?
Sure.
Why do you mute
Mike-
DMOC's questions? Because you can't answer them.
I was
Because you
sort of
can't
in the
take
middle of a
involved
question
in
myself.
the differences on one of the other.
Thank you for over talking me, sir. So, Kimo, my question would be.
Chemo, what are you talking
Thank
about?
you,
What the
Rocky.
heck, man?
Thank you, Rocky.
Yeah,
Thank you,
you're
Rocky.
welcome. Yeah,
So-
as you cut in on Chemo and then get upset that someone cut in on you.
Yeah,
You're
so
weird, man.
my question, Kimo, would be, do you have a flat Earth model? Because flat Earthers nowadays seem
on,
they
man.
Mute
don't.
yourself, Dem, because you're flashing. Denmark. No, we don't have a flat Earth model, as we've told you many a time. Okay, models are reification, and we would have
they're
to think something is true, and then obviously reify that with a model, which we don't have. You guys have a mathematical model, which doesn't match up to reality because the radius is not what we see when we go outside. There is no physical geometric edge, as you might put it. So models are not a good starting point. If you speak to someone like Bev, speak to someone like Rakia, they will help you how to establish a horizontal. And if there is curvature or a drop, okay, these guys will know it. That's the starting point, guys, not mathematical equations.
Let's get some facts on the table. Models are not reification. I'd be interested if Chemo can actually even tell me what reification is. That would be a good start. And then explain why he thinks that someone is trying to make a theoretical abstraction of reality itself, when that's not what's being done.
Then model water sticking to the exterior of a ball, and we'll call it a day. Then we'll all believe you. Can
That's actually a
I'll tell you
depiction
what,
from the
I'll
topic
tell
that
you
we were
what,
talking about.
let's start with a block of clay. I'll model mine out as best I can. I'll make some edges with some mountains in there, and the bottom of the sea will be clay, and we'll put some theoretical houses on those mountains and land masses, and then I'll fill it with water, and it'll hold water. And with your block of clay, you can create. Why'd you cut me off? Why did you cut me off? And then with your model of clay, I'll let you make a ball and put all the water you want on it, and then we'll go see whose model, in that aspect works.
Represents reality. Yeah.
Cool. We'll do that in free fall, right? We'll do the experiment in free fall. Oh, sorry, it's already been done. And the water sticks
did
to
we
the objects.
restore
The
order?
objects
'Cause
actually
shouldn't we
go towards the
unmute
denser.
DMOC?
Denmark is a mute.
Towards the center of the water. Why? Just gonna start.
Why would that happen in free fall and
bunch of
not
fart
happen in
noises.
standing? Why would that happen?
Gravity well, yet.
Gravity.
I
actually saw
Here's my picture.
You're trying to
Emok,
escape the
you
force
just
that's
posted
already
a
existing.
picture there.
Yeah, I posted a picture. I want to know where gravity stops
never
at.
answered
Does
the
it go to the
question.
center?
So
and
the
keep
picture
going?
is a straw man fallacy.
Yeah.
It's an entropy.
No, it's not.
That's
Look
all
at
we
all the
need to say
arrows.
about that, really.
We got
So
all
we
the
can
arrows
continue with the
going
conversation
on the
that we were
outside
having.
of the sphere,
Demok?
right? All the arrows are showing you where gravity is going to the center, right? So that's every fucking direction imaginable to man. Plus, not only that, does gravity go to the center? To the center of the sphere, and then after it goes to the center, where does it stop? Yeah, you can answer this question. After gravity goes to the center of the sphere, where does it go to after that? Does it stop in the center of the Tootsie Pop, or does it keep going to the outside again?
It stops in the center.
And how many licks does it?
Well, so
I showed you a picture yesterday.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Is that my answer?
He just said
Other guy, is that my answer?
Yeah, he
Can I
said
get one person to answer? Stops in the center. Now here's my next question. When it stops in the center, I can just hold a piece of fucking Skittle up, and that'll stop any gravity from hitting the Earth because it'll stop in the center of that Skittle, right?
I just want to ask a quick question.
No sense.
This is a very good question. You guys are just
one second. I just want to ask a quick question, and I just want to ask that. Those
Answer mine first.
Yeah.
Answer mine first.
Those up arrows, which is the important thing is. So those up arrows are the important bits that I'm challenging here. Can you tell me where I can go to those up arrows so I can launch myself into space without any other form of propulsion?
You'd have to talk to gravity about that.
Well, that's not what the gravity model says. All the arrows should be pointing to the center.
Oh, that's all directions.
Why are they
still.
pointing upwards?
Well, it's still all directions.
No. Why are they pointing? Why are those arrows pointing upwards?
Because I want to know if gravity continues after the center. Does it keep going or not?
Not in that direction.
But you're doing.
Which way does gravity go once it hits the center?
All the directions.
It's. What do you? You're acting like it's
what you're asking doesn't make sense.
How does gravity get
one direction?
Listen, how does gravity affect every point on the outside of a sphere? How does gravity affect the outside of a sphere evenly, right?
Okay.
And go to the center, right? And end up in the center.
I'm trying to answer you, but you have to stop talking.
If all it does is end up in the center?
Mark,
I'm not
you
going
have
to
to
answer
stop.
shit, moron. You don't even know shit, Coach. How the fuck would you answer me? You got to stop imagining you know something.
Yeah, I posted a picture. I posted to you the other night. Okay.
Yeah.
You're
Cool
not a little
story.
child. This kind of pictures
story,
work on you,
bro.
okay?
Yeah, cool picture.
So do me a favor and
CGI boy, got anything?
Do me a favor and look into the chat. The picture I had made, describing both what you're describing and what's actually happening, which is that because all the objects, and this is a physics program. In that physics program, all those objects are attracted to all the other objects. But because of the way in which they're placed, their positions from one another, they're giving you their, after you're adding together all the vectors that they're attracted to, they're going towards the direction where it's basically concentrated the most. And what ends up happening is because of the way they're oriented, that direction happens to be the center of where all those things are, the center of mass, which is the way it works. So they are attracted to all the other pieces, and the sum of all those forces leads to the direction that's in the center.
So once it gets to the center of my Skittle, it can't go to the Earth anymore, right, Coach?
How about when you go 66,000 miles an hour?